to check out Rose City merch. It's the perfect way to show your love and support for the show. From comfy tees to cool mugs and tumblers, there's something for everyone. Head over to our website and grab your favorite items. The link is in the description. Thank you. Back to the show. And welcome to Rose City, the After Show, the podcast where we dive into the wonderful world of the popular novel Rose City by author Karina Q. In each episode, we will be discussing a different aspect of the book, from the complex characters to the intricate plot twists and everything in between. Check out Rose City. To stay up to date as we explore unique perspectives and insights on the story. And since you're already here, you might as well hit the like button and the subscribe button to keep up with us. Okay. All righty. Good morning, Alicia.
Good morning, Cuzzo. Of course. Is my camera dirty?
No, ma'am. It is not.
All righty. We good.
How's your morning?
I got all the kids off to school. So.
Amen. Amen. Well, you look beautiful.
Cat. Oh, thank you. You look gorgeous.
Yeah,
the hair is herring, and girl, you just give
the hair is herring. I like your hair too. It's really giving me some Aaliyah. We were talking earlier, and I was like, it's giving me 1998 vibes. Like,
show my
it's
age.
an aesthetic. The 90s is back, baby, and you have shown up, and you look so good with it. I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So we have an icebreaker question this morning, and it says, could you or would you cut off toxic family members to protect your relationship? Why or why not? Alicia, what would you do? And I guess a giveaway there is toxic. So
toxic, yeah. So, like, if it was like if you said family member, it'd be one thing. But yeah, if I'm in a solid relationship and I see somebody just don't want me to be happy, and so they're always throwing, little, I saw him here and he don't really love you because he, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, bruh, come on. You toxic. You're stirring up, drama between us. So yeah, that's completely different from somebody warning you about ain't shit dude. Like, if your cousin's like, oh, I saw him like at the club, that's not toxic. I'm talking about like, I think, without telling too much business, like people making up fake profiles and contacting the ex, your current, with like, drama. So yes, I would definitely cut off anybody. Anybody could get this cut off.
If I can get that work, they can get that business, baby.
Yeah.
And the reason why we had that icebreaker question is because there's something that's happening in this chapter, and it's shifting our story a bit. But Rose City is ever growing, always evolving. So there's always new elements being introduced. And one that we've been kind of giving you guys a heads up about is Chan's family and his father. So that's why that question is in here. But would I cut off toxic loved one to save my relationship? Absolutely. And I would say not even just a family member, but even like as a friend, you got to go. You know what I mean? Especially like, because everybody don't have your best interest at heart. There are some people who are literally there always trying to like nitpick and to destroy your life, right? And some people just don't want you to be happy. And so if somebody's trying to bring some toxicity into your positive vibe, that's got to go. But when it comes to family, you're in a relationship with somebody and this person is treating you how you're supposed to be, being treated. And they just, for the life of you, just like, I don't like them. So you got a bad feeling. My thing is, if you feel something and you wish to share it with that person, sit back and just be quiet. Because if it manifests what you said, then you was right. If it doesn't, then you was wrong, right? Either way, either you can keep it to yourself and watch, or you might say, I don't want to kind of get this vibe, but I'm not sure. You know what I mean? But like, don't run with the vibe. I know they did that because in my spirit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't pull who we talking about, who always God gave him a word. And then it's like, no, God really didn't give you that word. You just really, maybe we could go down the pathway to a destructive church right now, honey.
Okay.
It's fun. But what I'm saying is that anybody who tries to come and destroy your peace has to be cut off. So and I feel like this question segues into some of what Chan is going to have to face. I think it's really clear from that conversation that he had with his dad. He's going to have to make a choice. He's going to have to make a choice very soon. Does he pursue this relationship with Malia, or does he cut it off? So yeah, I feel like the word toxic family member already gave it away. Well, they was already ready for the garbage can, so just dunk them in there. So that's my take. If you have somebody in your life who's trying to cause disruption to your peaceful life, cut that off, or at least talk with them and say, these are the boundaries that we have, that we need to establish. I don't feel comfortable with you speaking on things that you don't have any knowledge of. And then we also have to be careful as well, folks. Like, don't tell certain people certain things, because, you know, some folks, they'll blow it out of proportion. Do you remember that time I called and I told my mom that I was feeling sick and I didn't take my kids to school that day? I had like the flu. Before you knew it, you was downstairs getting somebody dressed for their funeral, and you were told, Karina's at the ER. She thinks she has COVID. She can't breathe. And you were like, what's going on?
I had to call. They made it sound like you were on your deathbed. It's like she's not doing good. She couldn't even get the kids up to school. She can't get out of bed. She gonna have to go to the ER. And I'm like, no, I know how y'all operate. Somebody could say, you know, something is
right,
you know, something tiny, and they make it
blow it up.
They just blow it way out of proportion.
Yeah, like, yep. So we have to protect our relationships. Like I said, and again, this was for the aspect of a romantic relationship. But I would say any relationship that means something to you, romantic or non-romantic, protect your relationships at all costs, you know. And that's what we have to do. My son recently had a situation where his it wasn't a girlfriend, it was just a friend of his, and her friend didn't like him. And so it became like a weird thing, like hanging out and stuff. And so he was just like, yeah, maybe we can like split up. Like maybe she can hang out with you sometimes and I can hang out with you sometimes, just because there seems to be this weirdness or whatever. I guess her friend was just like, I don't like him, I don't trust him. And that's okay that people don't like you, they don't trust you, because everybody ain't gonna like you, everybody's not gonna trust you. But what you're not gonna do, boo, what you're not gonna do is be disrespectful. We're not gonna be disrespectful to anybody.
Because he got a crazy auntie. I'm sitting here listening to this, and I'm like,
I'm like, even if you don't trust people, allow people to reveal themselves before you jump the gun, you know?
Yeah.
And I would say protect your people from those types of interactions, because again, they're all just like a friend group, but one friend doesn't like the other friend, and then people are like causing drama, and it's like, hey, we're not going to do that. That's not what we're doing. We are going to greet everybody with peace and love, and if we can't do that, we can simply be quiet and not speak on it at all, because what we're not going to do is lower our vibration. We high, baby. We way up here, baby. We vibing. We vibrate all over the place. You know what I'm saying? We doing it. Okay. High. And we're going to keep the energy high.
It's okay, girl. I love you.
You know what it is. I got to bring that sunshine a little bit before it dries up. We are in the Pacific Northwest, baby. So it's going bye-bye soon.
Girl, I was actually yesterday because it's been rainy and nasty or whatever. So I went outside in my hoodie and I was like burning up out there all of a sudden. It was like 72 degrees. And I'm like, wait, yesterday I felt like it was going to snow. And today it was really cold and nasty, wet, cloudy, you know.
Wow, you should have drove south, because it is sunny here and it was like 80 degrees. So it has been that way over the whole weekend. So it's been warm here.
Really? No, it's been rain. I'm surprised Miss Kitty ain't tell you. Yeah, it's been raining, windy, just nasty. And I'm like, okay, fall has arrived, because
fall hasn't arrived here for us yet. It hasn't come south. So
it's on its way. Then I'll tell you.
Fall is definitely coming to the Southwest Washington.
We always hit first, and I'll be like, Karina, it's about to rain. Like,
it's coming.
And I'm like, no, it's coming.
I think it's going to change soon. So we're in that pumpkin latte season, folks.
I have my my pumpkin spice. I was about to say seasoning, girl. No,
I know that's right.
Pumpkin spice and sweet Italian creamer.
Ooh, very nice. Very excited.
Bankroll. Ain't no place I can't go. Nothing I can't buy. I'm too goddamn fly, super fragilistic. It's reality.
All right, well, let's do the recap of chapter 48. All right, folks, so we're going to do a recap of chapter 48, which is the morning after part 2. Okay, so recap here. Malia's clothes have finally come and she's still over there eating her bacon, but she's wondering, like, should she jet? So she's like, okay, I got my clothes. I'm just going to go. And Tan's like, I got another surprise for you, baby. Takes her to the bathroom and there's a nice bath. and they get very clean, have a little bit of fun, while they're there. And I'm gonna skip past.
Oh, child. It's okay.
Yeah.
I just wish it was
Yeah.
me.
I wish it was me. Baby, you ain't the only one out here. So her and Chan get very nice and clean while being naughty. And then she's like, hey, that was amazing. I still think I probably should be going. You don't ever want to over welcome kind of thing, So Malia's like, maybe I should get ready to go. And he's like, no, I got another surprise for us. And then he takes her to this other room that's set up with massage tables, and they have a masseuse there, and they're getting massages and, like couples massages. And then, all like the little mani-pedi and all that little cute stuff, whatever. So then Chan gets a phone call from Daddy Kong, baby. And he's like, okay, so what you up to? And Chan's like, oh, nothing. And his dad's like, yeah, yeah, you sound real delightful. It's probably that girl you've taken up with. So Chan's like, uh-oh. Because now he's mentioned Malia, so that was like a red flag. Then his dad went on to talk about how there's some business deals that have not been closed out. Like, what are you doing? You ain't been on top of your game. And Chan's kind of feeling like, a minute, you told me to play this by the book. You said don't add none of that funny business that the triheads do. Just like be, strictly business here, baby. Leave all that crime element out of it. And so he did. And then his dad was like, well, it's not done yet. You need to figure out something. And then he told him basically he was lacking. And he was like, what? I'm lacking? I'm slacking in these streets? So he was like really offended because Chan is the type of person, he really takes his work very, very seriously. He don't play no games. And so to hear his father say, you're just not like adding up to par. You're not coming through the way you should be coming through. It was offensive to him. And his dad was basically on some Jedi mind trick type of business, like trying to flip stuff when it wasn't even that serious. So he's irritated by that call, but he's still trying to remain respectful to his dad. Gets his dad off the phone. Then the phone rings again. This is his attorney. His attorney is letting him know, hey, we got a phone call from the prosecuting attorney's office this morning. There's been a complaint filed against you. Somebody is saying that you were involved in an attack and they want you to come down and talk to, them about this. And he's like, I'm not going nowhere. I'll shoot them a statement. I don't know what they're talking about. I wasn't personally there, so therefore, how can I be connected to something that I didn't personally do? They're saying that the men who attacked Mike, you sent them. And so Chan basically tells his attorney, listen, they ain't got no formal charges brought up against me. They're just doing like some exploration. They're trying to do some exploration. They're excavating all of the evidence. They're trying to see what they have so they can see if they have enough information to formally charge him. And so he tells his attorney, you need to just deal with that. Like, you deal with that and then keep me posted. Chan gets on the phone, calls his guy, and he's like, yo, we need to put the other thing in motion for Brother Mike because some other stuff has come up and we need to get that going. So his dude was like, yeah, okay, I'll make sure I get that in motion now. So they have another surprise for Mike. So this isn't just Mike's surprise where he got beat down at a restaurant. They have something extra for him that involves some young ladies at the club that he met on the night of Antonio's club opening. So Chan seemed very irritated. I mean, his morning was going great before these two phone calls. It really kind of like changed the mood a little bit. But after his phone calls, he gets back to the whole mani-pedi massages and all of that type of stuff. And Malia's like, you okay, babe? And, she's like rubbing his arm. And he's like, yeah, I'm good. But she could tell something had shifted, but she wasn't like, I'm not going to push you for it either. Like, if you don't want to talk about it, I respect that you don't want to talk about it. So she let it go. And that's kind of how it ended there. But it's just like, what are we doing here, folks? What's going on? We got the DA's office calling, talking about Mike being attacked. We got Daddy Kong out here in these streets. He want to know about Malia. He's asking questions. So it's all real juicy, honey. It's like, what's happening here? What was your take on the chapter, Alicia?
Wow. So I read this chapter and just like somehow, even though I'm not like, in the market, I was like, somehow I was like I said, that's how I would picture something with me and Russell. But
it's not Russell, baby.
The fictional character.
Okay. Fictional.
But yeah, that made me want to, I don't know. I loved every bit of it. That's my thing. I want it, but I love. Like, I love to look at people happy doing stuff, and I'm like, so touch me, but that's sweet, So yeah, I chuckled about Mike kind of snitching, It's like, bro, come mad because you got soup all over your suit and somebody had
he snitched.
Right. I'm like, so you really did that. Wow. Talk tough.
He was hurt, honey. He was embarrassed.
Right. I'm like, So, but I chuckle. And honestly, yeah, I guess the lawyer could have waited, but I guess he didn't know that, Chan was doing this super Netflix and chill type.
The super version, baby.
I mean, the super.
It really was souped up, wasn't it, though? I mean, to have a chef come in and make breakfast for you that morning, beautiful bath with flowers and oils, then to have, a masseuse come in and give them massages and stuff. Like, come on, like, this is souped up, baby. This is the heightened version of a Netflix and chill.
Right. But no. Okay, so I love for other people. And I've been there myself before, but not like the super Netflix and chill. That was like he had breakfast, he had everything set up. Like that was not
how will you deal with a high valued man, Alicia? He's a man of means. He got money.
That's high value. That's the type of man I guess I would bring something to the table.
Bring a lot to the table.
Yeah, I'll just bring something
to the table.
Bring something. With me being a homebody too, like that would be the perfect date, that have everything set up like at the crib. Right. Oh dang. I mean, even with the massages, that breakfast amazing. I was like, who thinks of that? She ate really good. Good. I was
what they say, it ain't tricking if you got it, right? You're not a trick. If you got it, you're not a trick. You just like to give. And I think that's also a thing is like, sometimes I watch that balloon popping show and there was this one girl was like, are you going to trick for me? Are you going to trick for me? And the dude was like, you got to trick first and then I'll trick back. And I was like, this is the whole problem with the society that we live in. You literally think a person showing you kindness, love, affection, and attention is now them tricking. So that's not normal, right? That's not normal behavior. So what's normal is disrespect, being cussed out, somebody going through your phone, somebody breaking your stuff. That's what we think is normal. A trick, I call it chivalry. You know what I mean? I call it romance.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you, anybody who calls romance tricking is a person who doesn't understand that and probably grew up in an abusive environment. I don't want to preach to the choir, but I'm gonna tell you that being kind to a person that you really are feeling, that's not tricking. It's like when you show up at your job and you do the job that you're supposed to do. That's not you tricking at your job. You're doing what you
you're being simps for being gentlemen. Like
you're doing what you have to do in order to get the relationship. Because I don't, like the old people would have a saying that you get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. If you out here like vinegar smells, right? Who's coming for that? But if something is sweet, if it's nice, the aromatic is right, who's not coming for that? So you get more bees or more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. It's not simping and it's not tricking. I guess if you're in a position where you really don't have stuff together and you out here just shooting your shot in the dark and see, because what I think is tricking is you doing stupid stuff, paying for things you don't have no business paying for, and then you don't know how your lights are going to be paid for, or if your rent or your mortgage isn't covered, now you playing games now. Remember, we knew somebody who would, every time he would get his paycheck, he would give that woman his entire paycheck, and then he'd be like, well, can I have $5? And she'd be like, no. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He's from Tacoma, and y'all was like, he asked the woman one time if he could have a hug, and she was like, no, and closed the door after he gave over his entire paycheck. I don't want to say his name on here, but
it's coming to. I think it's coming to me. Don't say his name.
I'm not going to say his name, but I will say it was in the Hilltop vicinity, close to Allen, in that general vicinity. They worked around there. You know exactly who it was. Dang it! I can't believe
it's going to come to me.
I got no, because I need you to feel this experience with me. I'm gonna text you.
Okay, text it, because I'm like, It sounds so familiar. It has to be.
You know, it's because you was weirded out. You're like, what? Hold on.
Oh, it just
Yeah.
hit me.
Oh yeah. Because even my mama was like, stop giving that woman your paycheck.
Right.
And she won't let you in the
I had
house.
to
She won't
think
give a
about
kiss.
that. The Allen threw me off.
Because I was saying like the general vicinity without saying the
area,
actual location.
Yeah, I had to think, and I was like, yes, that poor man. I mean, the entire
That poor man.
He
Now that's
give
tricky.
him like gas. No, he would walk, or he always had to get a ride from somebody, or walk, or And I mean, one day he was very upset because all he wanted was a hug. And she was like, "Nah."
She didn't give him a hug. She took the whole check and was like, "No."
Entire check, and was now that's tricking.
That's tricky.
He discovered he was a trick. And the thing is, I think he knew he was a trick. And then he was like upset for like a whole 10 minutes because he didn't stop, He
didn't stop tricking though. Now that's tricking. That to me is when you that's when you tricking. This woman doesn't want you. You're giving over your whole paycheck. You don't have food. You don't have gas. I remember my mom was like, he needed $10 for something to eat. My mom was like, you just got paid. He's like, I gave her my whole paycheck. My mom was like, stop giving that woman your paycheck. Nobody who loves you is going to strip you of all your money and then tell you that they don't care if you eat.
Not even pack you a sandwich. Like, come on, this man be hungry.
Okay. You know what? It really was like some financial dominatrix style stuff because it was like there was no relationship. It was just give me your money, and that was it. There was no relationship. There was no hugging, no kissing, no nothing. I think one time he said he went over there and she had another man at the house.
Yes. I mean, this woman was living her entire life and had her checks or somebody else's checks brought to her. I mean, like,
you bald as hell.
I'm like, wow.
Bro.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, it wouldn't be like an actual, like the check. She would make sure he cash it and then bring her
cash, baby. Right, baby. Cash on delivery.
Where do they do that at? Like, are you
see, baby? She want that cash on delivery. She said, "Yeah,
yeah." She's had
no cash that she wanted in her fingers.
Yeah,
she want to feel that crunch.
Wouldn't even let him in the house. Well, that day, but yeah, she definitely had company. I remember that story too.
Girl,
yeah, poor man. Hope he got it together.
I'm not even sure what took us down that rabbit hole. But it was a rabbit hole, you know what I'm saying?
We were talking about tricking, and then we thought about a trick that we knew in.
We're talking about how good Chan was and how it's like that was such a nice experience. Yeah, that was really, really nice. Because I'm gonna be honest, I expect the bells and the whistles, but I expect the bells and the whistles according to what you can do. I would never expect somebody to give me a multi-million-dollar experience when you don't make millions of dollars. That's unrealistic. But I wouldn't also expect you to give me a $10 experience if I know that you have it and you're just like, I ain't spend it on you. Wow. So it's like, and I'm not talking about you first met this person and they don't know you. I'm talking about you've spent some time together, you know each other, you pledged yourself to me and I pledged myself to you because I'm not going to play with that. You know what I mean? Like if we're going to be together, baby, let's do it. Like, let's do it for each other. Let's do it big for one another. Let's celebrate each other. Let's love each other. Like, let's go all out. Let's be in love. Let's have some romance. Like, let's go big and bad with it. And so, and I know Alicia's thinking, wow, Frida, what are you over there doing? Not a whole lot.
you guys do pretty well, actually.
Girl, I got a whole wedding anniversary coming up next month. Yeah, I'll be married 19 years. So at this point, 19 years, 3 kids and 3 cats. They're just like trying to make it do what it do. You know what I mean? Because that's just what it is. And relationships shift, but it's fine because you shift with it. Like my kids are very active with sports. My daughter does track. My boys do football. So it's like, maneuvering between games and this and that and stuff. You just make it do what it do. It's a family. So
I had to think, you said 19 years, and I was like, that's right. I remember little Jay and his little tux at your wedding.
Oh, I remember that.
Brown, and I was like, oh.
And it was so funny because you could tell.
Now, so, yeah.
You could tell that was the first time he had on some church shoes like that because somebody had picked him up and they had like put him on one of the tables and he started taking it.
Little Jay.
Baby, but he was all dressed up. He put them shoes on the baby. He got the whooping them feet on that floor.
And yeah, and it was his first time wearing like dress shoes.
Jalen was so excited. It was so cute the way he was tap dancing his shoes.
Oh, yeah, that was baby Jay.
I remember you was like, I'm not bringing him to the wedding. And I was like, girl, bring the baby. He was like, he's going to act up. He was fine. But he was tap dancing. He was so excited. He was so excited.
Like, oh my God, mama took me out. Like I would take him out, like just me and him. You know, I always do that with my kids, but like for I don't know, something like that, a wedding or whatever. I know my children, and I know Jalen was one of my hyperactive children. He liked to run. But Karina, you had him in check. Girl, I don't know why he was scared, but he was terrified. He was like, look,
I think because he saw it in my eyes.
Yeah.
He saw it in my eyes that I was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but like he did he was always a really good kid, and I never had any problems with him. He never tried me, and I never had to threaten him with weapons or my hands. So we was good, you know. It was so good. We was so Gucci, baby. Yeah, we went all down the rabbit hole, but I think it was a good rabbit hole. It was a good rabbit hole.
That was good. I was thinking
it was a good one. It was an oldie but a goodie.
Right. Oldie but goodie.